How did we get to this point? If you've been in public in the past few months, you've probably seen things like this. This whole pandemic started in late 2019 in Wuhan, China. This is footage of how the pandemic began.
A really good bat. It tastes really good. It's a delicacy, I tell you. Just so good.
Coronaviruses are a family of contagious viruses that can cause a range of mild to severe respiratory illnesses. These viruses can mutate rapidly and form new types of coronaviruses, such as the severe acute respiratory syndrome. COVID-19 has gained global attention by the Global Health Organization and health regulatory authorities since its discovery. The main issue with COVID-19 disease is the high rate of human-to-human transmission, as the number of confirmed cases has reached 1,133,758 confirmed cases and 62,784 deaths over a 3-month period. Now, many nations react to the virus in many different ways. In mid-January, Chinese authorities introduced unprecedented measures to contain the virus, stopping movement in and out of Wuhan, the center of the epidemic, and 15 other cities in the Hubei province, home to more than 60 million people. Flights and trains were suspended, and roads were blocked. Now, in Italy, within a matter of weeks, they went from their first discovery of COVID-19 and reached up to 5,000 cases. From there, they totally prohibited all movements within the country and closed all non-essential business activities. In America, they did not take the threat seriously. When the cases did start to come in, they were weeks behind in shutting the country down and going into quarantine.
Hello, my capitalist friend.
Hello, my communist friend. I've heard in recent news that you've had quite the outbreak.
No, it is a minor flu, my friend.
A minor flu? That doesn't look like a minor flu.
Oh my goodness, Italy! What happened to you? Those pasta machines didn't do anything for you, eh? Damn, your economy is trash. Oh, Mr. America, what happened here? Damn, capitalism failed.
So, to summarize, it went a little like this.
Whatever happens, we're totally prepared. We have the best people in the world. It's going to be very well under control.
So, when did you first hear about COVID-19?
I recall that there was quite a bit about it on the news, not in North America, but on the Asian continent during Christmas holidays. Yeah, we heard about it at that time.
Okay. And now, what was your first impression of COVID-19 when you first learned about it?
Oh, well, I mean, I'm almost embarrassed to say that I just assumed it would be
No.
similar to, like the SARS scare and even H1N1, a flu strain more recently. I just thought it would flare up the way they do, and then it would just kind of calm down and disappear, and or there'd be some kind of I don't know if it's piggyback vaccine that they put with the flu vaccine, because I think that's what happened in the case of H1N1. I don't want to say because I don't actually know, but somehow they had a vaccine for that pretty quickly, and so I just thought it would die down within probably like a month. That's what I thought.
Okay. And now, how did you feel about COVID-19 after it came to the surrounding areas in August or late July?
Well, I guess I just couldn't believe that it was still going so quickly when, I don't know if I have all my numbers correct, but I mean, between sort of the suspension of classes in March and until the 1st of July, Manitoba only had about 300 cases, and it just didn't really seem to increase and flatten the curve. Like, it was flat. We went 13 days straight without a single case in the middle of July. And so I guess I thought, well, we've all done our job and that's that.
Right.
And then suddenly things just went crazy. And now to have 160 cases a day is incredible, because I don't know where they're coming from. I don't know what people are doing. I can't quite figure it out. So now I guess I have a little bit more panic, because I think, like, how can you know where it is?
Of course.
So.
Okay, well, thank you. That's all the questions we have for now.
Okay, great.
All kinds of businesses were affected from small to large by COVID-19. First, during the initial lockdown, mass layoffs and closures had occurred. After a survey of more than 5,800 small businesses, 41.3% of the business reported that they were temporarily closed due to COVID-19. A far smaller number, only 1.8%, reported that they were permanently closed due to the pandemic. The most affected businesses were small, non-essential businesses and airlines such as Delta and Air Canada. I'm aware that in total you have 9 corporations. Now, out of those 9 corporations, which of them have been affected the most by COVID?
So, affected the most by COVID is our accommodation business, our conference and meeting business, convention, food and beverage facilities. So it's restaurant, bar, banquets, catering, and our Subway and our Tim Hortons early in the pandemic. They have since returned almost to normal, but the ongoing difficulties are in the core tourism sector, which is accommodations, food and beverages, conference and meetings, recreation business, hunting, and of course our ski resort has been devastated as well.
Okay. And now, did the pandemic affect how many customers you got?
Rand, you want to jump in?
Absolutely. So, Damon mentioned earlier that the conference and banquet sector were largely affected, and it's about, what did we say to date, Damon? About $700,000 worth of business. But during certain seasons, as you know, we have hundreds of guests per weekend, and absolutely, we went from hundreds of guests sometimes during the week or per week. We often did training during the week, to 0 guests overnight, and we just saw the phone started ringing, and it just decimated that part of the business. And Assisipi, do you want me to address that, Damon?
Sure, Grant, thank you so much.
Because no one knew what was going on, and before the province declared a state of emergency, but when things became heightened, there was a staff person that we understood it was a confirmed case of COVID-19. We ended up learning later that the case wasn't confirmed. Public health did due diligence and found out that it wasn't a confirmed case. But the second that we heard it, we had no choice but to shut the resort down. So that was